Hello once again everyone and welcome to the Sanctuary. Once again we are playing Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn as a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Alongside me for the ride and either remembrance or teaching are the following. Lord Fyrax.
Memories.
Corlash.
Hello.
And Moses de la Vega.
God, I guess.
All right, so once again, I'm just going to explain the rules right quick for everyone. We are doing a completely fresh run of this, so I did add a few rules just to make sure everything's covered. So, first and foremost, of course, I am doing up to the Envoy quest with completely new characters. I will be doing any and all instances as duty support only, with the exception of Alliance and normal raids. And after the Envoy quest, I will return to play as Chris Valentine under New Game Plus, but I will be doing each expansion as the job that our mascot, Meteor, was in each expansion. So that means A Realm Reborn I will be running as Warrior, Heaven's Ward I will be running as Dragoon, Stormblood I will be running as both Monk and Samurai, Monk for the Alamegan parts and for the Doman parts Samurai, Shadowbringers I will run as Dark Knight and Endwalker, like I did in my original stream, will be done as Paladin. For now, though, let's get to our side-by-side. So, we are logging in for episode 2B, in which originally we played as Lady Cassandra. This particular trip down memory lane will be performed with Freya Wolt, as I have already deleted all of the old characters to make room for more flights of fancy. But yeah, let's see what we can track down in changes from this one. Well, first and foremost, Moses missed it in the last episode because he was not here. But we did notice a fair amount of stuff that has changed. Moses, I don't think I mentioned to you about TP, did I? Yep. So, if we look at our old footage, or at least if it buffers well enough. Actually, let me get a more... there's a more clear visual. There we go. Now then, let me switch over to this scene for a minute. So, Moses, you're watching the stream, right? Fair enough. It's all good. So, let me first go back to the side-by-side. Now, let me know when you're watching, Moses. While I open my Discord and change your name in our server. What is it? Okay, give me a sec. There we are. Now, minimize, bring our OBS back up so I can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so what do you know? Do you notice any differences in these two scenes by any chance? Ah, Arya. Please don't. All right. A beer. All right. Continuing on, but Moses, do you notice anything different? Any difference between the two scenes? What's that? Well, yeah. And the camera in the top left. Well, allow me to blow up the bottom scene right quick. But if you'll notice right quick, oh, and of course I derp again, this little third bar on the bottom, this little bar is the TP gauge for technical points. And every physical combat class and job dealt with that gauge. It was a bitch. Oh yeah, sprint was linked to the TP gauge and you only got a certain amount of time depending on how much TP you used when you use it. It was such bullshit. Well, they removed it back in Stormblood, if I recall correctly. But yeah, TP was just a nightmare to deal with. And I hated every single second of it. It was Shadowbringers? Huh. The more you know. Alright, but anyway, a nice little side-by-side comparison here for a minute. Now, let me rewind. Actually, no, let me not rewind. Let me actually fast forward because we need to get to the point where we actually talk to Galfried. Now, when I left off in episode 1B, I was having trouble with passing muster, in which you have to get your gear up to item level 5. Thankfully, we no longer have that problem. Go ahead, take your time. So let me fast forward a little more. Already talked to Galfried about that. And let's... There we go. All right, so we are now on the quest. Freya. By your tireless efforts, you've proven yourself a friend to Gridania. I believe you can be trusted with sensitive intelligence. I would assign you a mission of considerable import, yet the need for secrecy prevents me from disclosing its details until you have pledged your participation. I am authorized to tell you only that it concerns suspicious activity in the Twelveswood. Say that you will lend us your aid, and I shall proceed with the briefing. All right, let's do it. Good. Time is of the essence, so listen well. You will by now have heard that a suspicious individual has been seen prowling the Twelveswood. And you may also be aware that Ixali activity has risen sharply in the region of late. What you may not know is that this increase coincided almost exactly with the first recorded sighting of the aforementioned individual. Suspecting a connection, we tightened our surveillance in hopes of tracking down our unknown visitor. Alas, our quarry is proving to be exceedingly elusive, almost as if he knows our movements ahead of time. But where whole units have failed, a lone adventurer may yet succeed. Acting independently and covertly, you may be able to close in on our quarry unnoticed. Fear and anxiety are beginning to take their toll upon the citizenry, Freya. For their sake, I ask that you aid us in this investigation. You have my gratitude. With your help, I am hopeful we will shed light upon this mystery. Begin your search at Lifemen Stump. It is there that the majority of sightings took place. Be forewarned. My people cannot offer you support, lest our quarry catch scent of our presence and evade us yet again. Proceed with caution. I'm glad I can disable the active help windows nowadays. Oh, what a shame. I had a rainbow when I played as Cassandra. But then again, it's cloudy at the moment. Take it easy, Fire Axe. Take it easy, Corlash. Have a good night. Alright, before we do anything else, I need to check something. Huh? Oh, right. There we go. Oh, an Arya poof too. Such a shame. Alright. Let's do this.
Look, someone's already here.
Well.
Oh dear. Is that a sword in the stump? Bad idea. Really bad idea. It takes a lot less than that to incite the Green Wrath, you know. Why, the first time we came to the Twelveswood, we almost ended up as a Trion's dinner, just for crashing our airship in the wrong place.
No, not this one.
It was all Papalimos' fault, of course. Though, he...
High-pitched voice of a frickin' Moogle.
Well, not exactly, but we did once share a carriage. Isn't that right?
How are the readings?
Same as the last. There is a disturbance here as well, and newly manifested at that. Kuplo-Ka seems convinced of your innocence. But if this isn't your doing, whose is it?
Ever since the calamity, the forest's been really sensitive. The slightest disruption to the etheric flow. when this sort of thing happens.
Oh dear. Trance.
It seems we have little choice.
Oh, I'm missing an ability. I almost forgot about my my dot. Where's the... Oh. There you are. Welcome back. So another thing that I haven't mentioned is and you may have noticed this, Moses, when you're doing certain instances with other major names, that you see their face as well when they have pop-up text on the front of the on the top of the screen. But that wasn't always the case. That actually did get introduced with Endwalker. No, you see the text at the top, and how it had Papa Limo's face on it? Yeah. Yeah, so I'll show it in, Wait, did I? Oh yeah, we took the same amount of time. Almost. And now our crystal comes. Unfortunately, this is one of those cutscenes that I can't really control, so we'll just blaze through it and then I'll rewind to show you.
Hear, feel, think.
But yeah, while this cutscene is going on, I did,
Crystal bearer.
what am I thinking about? Oh yeah. I did actually mention that
All made one.
a lot of things have changed, and
that shone throughout this realm.
we actually did brush up on a few of them.
And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake
Sorry, I gotta
of
add
all,
a few. There we go.
beseech thee, deliver us from this fate.
Welcome back, Arya.
The power to banish the darkness dwelleth.
No wonder I have a headache.
I'm sorry.
Forth and lay claim to them.
I'll be glad when these plays are over. Go to bed.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation. You fainted. A surfeit of ether, no doubt.
What was that, Moses?
So I'm just gonna trying to go through and like clear out some of the quests I have here, and I've been noticing like the queue time is more than 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. What are you trying to run?
Pretty much anything right now. Like I'm even trying to do like the Minstrel's Ballad, and it's even saying that it was more than 30 minutes. Now get this. I was waiting on the request for Hildebrand for when you face Typhos and
Yeah.
Ultros, or Typhon and Ultros, I think.
Yeah.
So I tried to do as my normal job as a summoner. So it was like 15-20 minute wait. Guess what happens when I switched my job to Scholar?
You got in quick.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds. And all of a sudden, it's like, commence, wait, or withdraw. I'm like, seriously?
Yep.
What?
Yep. That is a meta. Whether
I guess in hindsight, it's kind of a good thing that I did go for Summoner, because I do have the choice to switch between Summoner and Scholar.
yeah. That's kind of a running joke of Final Fantasy XIV, is that tanks and healers kind of have special privileges because there are so many people with either tank or healing anxiety that they just go DPS.
I resent that.
It's because you're normally used to doing like some of the healing jobs by trade. You've got like tons of experiences compared to my experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been in this game like what? I've only been in this game like what? Not even 2 months.
Yeah, just about. So I wanted to show you, Moses. So you
To be honest, I after I get, I mean, my plan is to get to level 70 and then unlock Dancer and start doing Dancer for Chrysania, but
Mm-hmm.
because healing is not. I did it as a start on Arya because I figured it would be a way to keep myself alive. I suck at it.
All right. I just
So-
wanna show this to Moses really quick. So you remember how we were talking about how in solo instances, when you have like major characters involved, you'll see their faces if pop-up text shows up in the top. This was how it used to look back during early Heaven's Ward.
It was just short-tempered thaumaturge.
Yeah, Papa Limo.
And then actually, yeah.
But yeah, they didn't introduce all the faces near the text until Endwalker. Actually, that was one of a more recent update.
Here's something. When did Endwalker come out?
That came out during the pandemic, actually. Back in December, if I remember correctly.
Okay. The only reason why I ask, and I don't know why it all of a sudden popped in my head, but there was a mobile game that I played that was called Dissidia Opera Omnia, and it had all of the Final Fantasy like mainstays from like 1 all the way up to 15.
Yep.
And the only ones that I was less familiar with were 11 and 14. I first became involved in Final Fantasy when I first found out about Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah. So yeah, 11, much like 14, is an MMO as well. So.
Okay.
And it was only released for PC and PlayStation, and it was only released for PC and PlayStation 2. So, it's only natural that you wouldn't really know too much about that particular title.
Yeah, like, I mean, I was only like even vaguely familiar with like all the ones even pre Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
But 11 and 14, not so much. But I was a little more familiar with 14 because Opera Omnia at the time was actually pushing some of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Papa Limo being one of them, and Ida being like another one as well.
Yeah.
An Ixal, and no ordinary Ixal either. A chieftain. That they would venture this deep into enemy territory, the beastmen may indeed be acting under orders. This is Papa Limo. We found
How
the
are we
culprit.
feeling then?
It was an Ixalan
Better?
chieftain.
Good.
Yes, we'll see whether Esumian's cooperation in the matter.
And the Moogles still
Giant
being
crystals?
as they were,
Can't say I've seen any.
in a sense.
Are you sure you're feeling better?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What?
And the Moogles being just about relatively the same.
Understood.
Only it looks like the newer instance, their palms are like a little more glowy.
Yeah.
Kuplokop, please bear word of these developments to Brother Esumian. We shall soon return to give a full report.
Understood. Over and out. Kupo!
I'm not looking forward when I have to voice these Moogles again.
Here is where we part ways.
Don't you hee me.
Take care.
bite me and fight me.
No.
I need to put you two in separate corners for the moment.
Be a clue. You should definitely pull it out and take it back to the Bannock.
I remember now that I was not
I
a.
feel like I'm being tricked into
Don't suppose
answering
that
this.
adventurer could see Kuplokop, do you?
And this occurs to you now? Yes, it seemed that way. Time will tell.
Well, time will have to, because you won't. You never tell me what's really going on. Unless you don't know what's going on
Aria,
either.
when would you ever think that?
What's
You
that?
I
really
didn't know you
thought,
asked
wouldn't
me.
you?
I was like, why Aria? When would you ever think that? Granted, yes, my actual game name means the god of death, but still.
I
All right.
mean, at least if you're gonna kill me, I'd die with a smile on my face.
Well, considering I'm still alive, it seems that Arya didn't
Exactly.
see. Considering I'm still alive, it seems like Arya didn't see the TikTok I posted this morning on Chaos Castle.
I have no idea, and you know how my morning was.
Yeah. Oh, we also mentioned last episode some abilities that were. Oh, and this is a good time to talk about this. Some abilities are no longer available. Let me switch over to our video scene for a quick second. Arya, I don't know if you're watching the stream, probably not, but let me ask you, do you remember? Actually, I don't think you may not remember Cleric Stance.
I love how they think they can get away with reading and drawing and stuff by nightlight.
Arya?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Did you hear what he was asking you?
No.
Do you
I
remember?
was too busy disciplining a child.
Hey.
Ah,
Do you remember Cleric Stance by any chance?
No. Why would I? I was never a cleric.
No, but you were a conjurer.
Oh.
All right, so one of the things that has changed Moses, and in this particular scene, we notice it in L2 right, an ability that white mages no longer have called Cleric Stance, and essentially,
Jocelyn, go to sleep.
Cleric Stance had a couple of reworks before ultimately it was removed outright. Originally, it would be that it was kind of like any Tang Stance ability, where you set it and forget it.
mm,
But what it would do is it would increase if Cleric Stance was on, it would increase the power of your combat spells, and if you had it off, you would have to just deal with your healing spells. Afterwards, oh yeah, you had to healers had abilities like that, and it was so annoying having to jump back and forth between choosing between whether to have it on or off and prioritizing offense instead of defense instead of healing. Thankfully, Cleric Stance was reworked, I think sometime after Heaven's Ward, where it became just a basic cooldown ability in which it just increased your combat spell potency for a short while, but ultimately it did end up getting removed from White Mage's repertoire. All right, back to our side-by-side. Freya, it is good to see you back. One of our patrols sent word that you had been spotted doing battle with enraged treants. I am relieved to find you none the worse for the experience. But tell me, what were you able to discover at Lifemen's Stump? A sword in the stump and a dead Ixal. I can say with absolute certainty that this blade is of Ixali origin. It is of a kind used exclusively in the Beastmen's rituals. The Ixal rarely set foot in the central shroud, so tight is our guard over the area. What purpose could have driven them to take such a risk? I fear something is afoot. What's that? A dubious couple sporting peculiar spectacles. So you have finally been acquainted with Ida and Papa Limo. Lay your suspicions to rest. Gridania counts them among their staunchest allies. Both are scholars hailing from a distant land, and have been with us since before the calamity. Their garb may appear outlandish, and their exchanges baffling, but never once have they given us cause to doubt them. Indeed, they often assist the God's Quiver and the Wood Whalers in their work, much as I hope you will in the days to come, Freya. Although our unknown visitor eludes us still, owing to your efforts, we have acquired important intelligence on the Ixali threat. You have my gratitude. We are fortunate indeed to have a capable adventurer such as you aiding us. I pray you will continue to serve the people of Gridania in whatever capacity you are able. Alright, yep, eggs over queasy. Freya. Oh. Okay, this is a little quick edit that they did in this particular quest. Galfred used to actually ask if he could have a word, but now he just addresses us right quick. Nice to know. Anyway, Freya, injuries to several of my men have left me short-handed, and I require a capable sort to complete their unfinished duty. The task is simple. Put down as many of the local Chigo population as necessary to acquire 3 of their egg sacs. Oh, that's another thing that has changed. It used to be 8. Having done so, you are to deliver them to Montranguin at Gilbert Spire. He will answer any queries you might have. Now, I have other business to attend to. Whoopsie daisy. All right, we got all the Chigo sacks. Ah, you must be the adventurer standing in for injured companions. Terribly fortunate business, that. It seems, however, that you had little trouble gathering the egg sacks in their stead. Excellent work. I shall have them sent over to the Trappers League immediately. Lest you wonder, these egg sacks are not destined for the dinner table. Members of the Twin Adder and the Wood Whalers are assisting the League by collecting the samples they need to check for signs of sickness. The Chigo, you see, is one of the few creatures capable of transmitting the disease known as the Creeping Death. Until relatively recently, any here who contracted this ghastly illness would almost invariably perish. Indeed, a single outbreak once claimed the lives of a third of the Huron population here in Gridania. That was a long time ago, of course. With the medicines available to us now, the Creeping Death is not the killer it once was. Even so, it is best to halt any new outbreaks before they occur. Thus, we gather Chigo eggs on a regular basis in order to assist the Trappers League with their ongoing research. Your timely assistance is most appreciated. Yeah, we still got the 13 wind shards and the potion. Such an embarrassing turn of events. I sent a recruit from the Bannock on a surveying expedition only for the Craven to turn tail and flee at the first sign of trouble. This is not how we treat requests from the Conjurers. As if such a poor showing weren't bad enough, the lily-livered half-wit left behind the surveying equipment provided by healer Pauline herself. While I attempt to instill some backbone into this so-called soldier, would you mind recovering the survey gear and returning it to healer Pauline at Gabinos Boa? According to my recruit's tale of woe, there should be a set of survey records and surveyor's rope, and 2 boxes of surveyor's instruments strewn about the interior of a cave to the south of here. It's a wonder the damn fool didn't lose his boots. Matron, watch over you. You always gotta love the incompetent ones. So Moses, by any chance, do you have any questions so far?
Not right now. I mean, I'm looking at your stream here. I'm also like trying to see like what other quests I can actually get myself into. Oh, and sort of an update. This whole time, I'm still waiting to try to do Ultima's Bane quest.
Oh yeah, you're probably not gonna get a party queue for that one.
Well, that's funny because like there's 4 out of 4 like DPS. There's 1 out of 2 damage, or 1 out of 2 tanks and 1 out of 2 healers. So it's like,
yeah,
it's like kind of like right there, but it's not quite.
Yeah, because like you, a lot of probably the newer players try to think that it'll pop because of people doing duty roulettes, but there are just some roulettes that just never get. There are some duties that never get rolled in roulettes.
That's always been the thing with 14 when it comes to like all these different kinds of quests.
Yeah, a lot of them end up being lesser known or not as popular these days. This is Ultima's Bane we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one isn't as popular because there aren't really any rewards for it. There's the surveyor's instruments. I think I still have a couple of black Fs I need to kill. Nope, just one more. It's a good thing I didn't decide to go Conjurer this run, because I forgot how slow the spells were to begin with.
The spells are like slower compared to like that of like a thaumaturge or summoner.
They're slower compared to what we have now, I should say. Alright. Yes? May I assist you with some matter? Oh. But this is the equipment I left with the soldiers of the Bannock. Fled at the first sign of danger, you say? I see. Well, all is not lost. It appears the recruit managed to complete the surveying assignment. The records are actually quite detailed. With the changes wrought by the calamity, I thought it wise to send the Order of the Twin Adder on a number of expeditions to map the region's topography. As fortune would have it, the officers saw these tasks as an excellent opportunity to train inexperienced soldiers. We can no longer rely on our past knowledge of the Twelveswood. If we are to survive in these troubled times, we must reacquaint ourselves with our surroundings, that we may better discern the threats we face. Stay vigilant, adventurer. Alright, I'm gonna, against my better judgment, I'm gonna take the Hempen Acton. Even though it makes me look like a poof. Anyway. Alright, back up the... Okay, so we gotta address, before we continue, on a couple of missing quests from the main scenario quest line. First and foremost, the quest Butcher of Green Tier, where we had to basically take out a whole bunch of hoglets. And that, but essentially it was to raise you up enough to get to the next part of the quest, which is a soldier's breakfast. Another noticeable change is the fact that Pauline asks a word with you, or asked a word with you beforehand, but now she doesn't do that. They changed a lot of lines in this, and it's going to be interesting to see what changed and what didn't. But let's continue. I hesitate to make such a dangerous request, but might you assist us in thinning the number of anoles on Naked Rock? In our efforts to commune with the elementals, we conjurers often find ourselves in the area. Of late, however, our meditations have all too frequently been interrupted by unprovoked anole attacks. Truly, the beasts grow more aggressive by the day. Their numbers have continued to grow since the advent of the Seventh Umbral Era, you see, forcing packs of the Scalekin to come down from the mountains in search of food. If you could slay a handful of the beasts, that should lessen their need to hunt and also serve as a warning to the animals that remain within their territory. But I'm afraid you must do more than thin the existing population. If we are to truly break from this spiraling growth, then we must also target their future offspring. Bring me one of their eggs, and you will have played your part in returning the balance to this area of the forest. Oh, lucky me. I don't have to collect 4. And I only have to slay 3 animals as opposed to the 6 that was originally asked for. But I still get lost on where the start of the hills. But no matter what changes, the one thing that remains constant is the fact that I try to avoid combat whenever possible. Doesn't always work, but that's what I try to do. Now, where's the... Oh, there it is. There we go. And we out. So, Arya, what are you up to besides disciplining children? Yeah, I think she's still deaf. Let's talk to Pauline. Ah, you have returned. Now my brothers and sisters continue their meditations undisturbed. You have my thanks. As for the egg, may I ask you to deliver them to Subikamadonzom at the Bannock? What the fuck is with that name? Animal eggs are both large and filled with nutrients. The perfect meal for a soldier. She'll be more than a little pleased to see you, I should imagine. There she is. Who goes there? Oh, Freya, it's you. Another delivery? I'm not certain I should be the one to... Pinothica, that's an animal egg. The troops would be glad indeed to see one of these at the table. And you say here Pauline sent you this... on this errand? I hear the annals are more numerous than ever. Yet you appear to have managed the task with your skin intact. Your skill and bravery continue to amaze me, Freya. Alright, let's get a new bow out of the deal. We got Storyteller now. Alright, now let's speak with Oh, we have another side quest that got we've got another quest that got removed from the main scenario, and that is the quest an F for effort. In which I believe we had to cull down the Black Eft population. Satsu 2 cents. Satsu Gai Sukashi, as I live and breathe. How's it going, my man? Just a little trip down memory lane.
Son of a biscuit.
What's going on, Arya?
I dropped the AirPods.
Oh. Sorry.
And they went under the couch.
Oh. But yeah, it's just a little trip down. It's just a little trip down memory lane, Sots.
On the couch. Man, I want a biscuit.
But yeah, we had to cull. But yeah, Satsu, I did start over again with new characters, at least up until the Envoy quests.
You can't hear you. Go to bed. Do you want to live 5011?
Ooh, it's already 11 o'clock.
I mean,
it's 1111.
I mean 11 years old.
You heard you're on. Go to bed.
11 hours. I'm making a wish. I hope that I meet Moses, my best buddy, someday.
Go to bed.
And
Hey, vey. Anyway, yes, Satsu, I did start over again, but the footage you're seeing right now is from my previous run through of it. Let me bring back the side-by-side comparison because we were waiting for Spirit Hold Broken to be available. This is basically a little trip down memory lane as we go over 10 years worth of changes in Final Fantasy XIV. Anyway, Freya, thank the gods you've come. We have a potential crisis on our hands and I would appreciate your assistance. Will you hear me out? Listen well, for we haven't much time. To the southeast of here lies a dungeon known as Spirit Hold. It was all but destroyed during the calamity. Desiring to offer the ruins back to the forest, a hero ventured inside to carry out the rite of returning. Alas, it would seem something has gone awry. Word arrived just moments ago that the hero and his guards have been attacked by a towering shadow. Aye, you heard me true. A shadow! On any other day, I would dispatch my best quivermen to provide support, but I sent them to repel an Exali incursion in the West Shroud area Belago. The timing of these events cannot be mere coincidence. I fear the Ixals somehow caught wind of our plans and are attempting to disrupt the rite in an effort to weaken the bond between man and elemental. They must not be allowed to succeed, and so I bid you go to Spirit Hold and do whatever is necessary to resolve the situation. Please say you will help us. I knew you would not let me down. You will have all the support I can muster. Now, you're racing against time, so you had best make haste. Satsu... Looks like Satsu will be back for Dawn Trail, but... Understandable, Satsu. You've had a lot on your plate. I mean, between your business, between your family. It's understandable that you should be away. And I don't fault you for that. What was that, Arya?
I said I'm pretty sure none of us could.
Nope, not at all. Especially since he makes
Family
good chicken
first.
cheese. Especially considering he makes good chicken seasoning, so. Oh, and for those of you watching on YouTube, a link to his website will be provided right in the description. So if you want to buy some seasonings, go to him. It's really good. Trust me on that. That was your shameless plug for the day.
It's a shame we can't show jewelry and shamelessly plug me.
Well, I could, but that'll be next episode. Anyway, let's talk to Alistan. Who goes there? An adventurer, is it? Here at Instructor Galfred's request, you say. Thank the matron. Doubtless you already know this, but a towering shadow manifested without warning and attacked the hero in the midst of the rite. Most of his party has been successfully evacuated, but 5 remain unaccounted for. Please find them and see them out of harm's way. Well, that's easy enough because yep. Oh, wait, this is the fate. I forgot there's always this fate here.
Yeah,
Hashtag not spawns.
I love this big green blanket that my sister always leaves for me. But I can never figure out which way it's supposed to go.
The positioning was changed on this quest too. The worried wood whaler used to be over here. The witless wood whaler is still up and running. Get the trickster imp. The overwrought wood whaler. Then the cool-headed conjurer.
I'll be right back, boys.
Take your time. And there's the confused conjurer. All right. Let's go in and do this duty. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble soul a soul, that it may wake to life. And another golem. Alright, let's see how quickly we can dispatch this thing. So far, not an issue. I just took a plane cracker head on and survived, so. And we're done. It took me longer the first time I did this, but that was back in Heaven's Ward. That the golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. Damnation! He has eluded us yet again!
Oh, fancy meeting you here. How are things?
And now a flashback, courtesy of, well, the Echo. What are you...
Shh, more birds. This makes how many times today? 7?
Their movements are beyond our fathoming.
Do you think maybe they're trying to summon their primal?
I hope not, for all our sakes. Yet we must be prepared for the worst. Withered. The same fate has befallen Emerald Moss. It is as we feared. Dalamun's anomaly is affecting life in the Twelveswood.
You mean the disturbance in the etheric flow?
The very same. The Gallians have a lot to answer for. The imbalance they have created is plunging the land into chaos, just as Louisoix forewarned.
It's no wonder the primals have started appearing.
Time is against us, but there is still hope for the land. We must hold fast to that hope and fight to the very last.
Agreed. Stupid things.
These stupid things happen to be the very latest in Charlian innovation. Show some respect.
But they're so uncomfortable and ugly.
If you ask me, they're an improvement over that mask of yours.
Hard to believe it's already been 5 whole years, isn't it?
Already? 5 years is but a heartbeat in the life of the planet.
I suppose you're right. Now that I think about it, the Twelveswood barely recovered at all, and the Gridanians still have the same old problems.
Aye, along with some new ones. Just in case the Ixal and Garuda weren't troublesome enough, the Sylphs had to go and invite Ramu, didn't they?
Do you ever think about those adventurers who fought alongside us? I do. And then 5 years seems like ages. I wonder what became of them.
Ida, look!
Golly! And this is what exactly?
Yet another disturbance in the ether, and freshly manifested at that. It seems to be emanating from Lifemen's Stump. We must hurry! At least I'm doing better than I did in my earlier playthrough, in my previous playthrough.
Are you alright? Your eyes glazed over for a while there.
Pika.
Ika.
The good good news is that the hero is unharmed. Somewhat dazed, yes, but whole of mind and body. The bad news concerns everything else.
Lest you forget, the Twelveswood is the domain of the elementals. It is by their leave that man abides in the forest and avails himself of its bounty. The ground which the dungeon occupies is no different. Having no more use for the dungeon, the Gridanians sent a healer to offer the place back to the elementals by way of the rite of summoning, which is essentially an expression of gratitude. Alas, he failed to complete the ritual for obvious reasons. While the poor soul cannot be blamed for this, the fact remains that unless the elementals are given their due, they may well consider it a slight. And the very last thing the Gridanians can afford to do in these uncertain times is risk alienating the Twelveswood's eternal guardians. But you have more than done your part. We shall see the hero to safety, and send for his peers to finish the rite. In the meantime, please make your way outside and report to Alistan. But where are my manners? I am Papa Limo, and the tactless woman beside me here is...
Ida. Papa Limo and I are surveying the Twelveswood together. Pleased to meet you.
Ida, give me a hand, would you? Wait. There is something familiar about you. Could it be that you are... never mind. Doubtless my eyes are playing tricks. Till we meet again. Now, I mentioned this in episode 2, during our replay-through of episode 2A. But it's the old say something important then never mind trope. But at the same time, this is one that you notice a lot more if you are a legacy player, which both Arya and Moses are not. But in actuality, later, if you're a legacy player playing this game, or even replaying this game, you get a few different lines here and there. And in particular, one near the end of 2.0, where everyone, thanks to Heidelin, everyone will remember that you were the Warrior of Light from 1.0. So, just an interesting bit of trivia that I wanted to share. Anyway, all this happened inside Spirit Hold? 12 preserve us! Who is that masked mage? And by what dark ambition is he driven? So many things shrouded in mystery. Well, I shan't find any answers on my own. I must needs discuss this with Galfried. The matter warrants a full investigation, if I am any judge, and that shall certainly be my recommendation. Your courage has saved many lives this day, adventurer. For this, you have my deepest gratitude. Pray, return to Gridania and seek out Mune. I understand she wishes to thank you for your efforts on your behalf. And now we're back in Gridania. Welcome back, Freya. A little bird tells me that the hero and his party owe you their lives. A tale for the tavern if ever there were one. It is only a shame that I must ask you not to tell it. For the time being, at least. Do I make myself clear? Until the heroes have made their will on the matter known, it would be best to avoid unsettling people with stories of walking statues.
Now then, you must have suitable recompense for your valiant service. For the first half of your reward, I give you leave to make use of the accommodations here at the guild. Arrangements have been made, so all you need to do is speak with Antoinal. Whenever you crave the comfort of a firm bed and a soft pillow.
And now we have in-rooms.
For the second half of your reward, I offer you another path to fame and fortune. Guild Labs. Guild Labs are records of the various requests we receive from the citizenry. They all outline all manner of tasks which ambitious young adventurers like you can elect to undertake. Gontran is our Guild Lev official, or Levmeet, here at the Carline Canopy. I've spoken with him regarding your knack for solving challenging problems, and he is eager to make your acquaintance. By the way, have you perchance heard about the coming festival? It is truly a splendid occasion, looked forward to you by young and old alike, and one I heartily recommend that you take the time to enjoy. Don't be too disappointed if the recent troubles cast a shadow over proceedings, however. I fear nothing short of the mysterious interloper's apprehension can prevent that. But we were talking about you, Freya. You have made Mother proud. I expect great things of you, young lady.
And now we have access to recommendations. And we're already level 12. Bully! Now then, we have covered a lot of things tonight, so we are going to retire to the inn room. Oh, here's another thing that we need to mention right quick before we go, though. But first, oh, I'm not gonna open my character menu. Jip. All right, so I gotta fast forward and show. So, here's another thing that's a blast from the past. And you definitely don't remember this, Aria. Attribute points. So here's another annoying thing that I'm glad they got rid of is back in the day, we had to actually assign attribute. We were able to get bonus attribute points that we actually had to assign. It was so annoying. I'm honestly glad they got rid of that. But more on that particular change later. For now, we have covered episode 2B. Next time we reconvene, we will be covering episode 2C, in which we will do in Lim Solominsa. But for now, I think it's time to call it a night. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for final announcements, but if you haven't done it yet, hit that follow button and turn on notifications so you're well informed. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe by clicking here and click the bell icon for notifications. Click here to watch more. Click here to watch the full blast from the past trip down memory lane. And click here to watch the next episode when it comes out. We'll see you next time.